countries. But how is this possible? What makes the 1981 Liberty 1 cent so unique, so mysterious, and so incredibly valuable? To understand its significance, we need to travel back in time through decades of economic change, minting innovation, and numismatic intrigue. So sit tight, because this is a story you do not want to miss. The year was 1981. America was at a crossroads. Ronald Reagan had taken office as the President of the United States. The nation was grappling with inflation, high interest rates, and a shifting global economy. Amidst all of this, the U.S. Mint continued its long-standing tradition of producing the iconic Lincoln cent coin that had first been introduced in 1981 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1981, the Lincoln cent had already become the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. But the 1981 edition marked a crucial turning point, the end of an era, and the beginning of a transition that would forever change the future of the penny. Through 1981, the reverse of the Lincoln cent to the majestic Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparro, chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. It symbolized unity, history, and a reverence for one of America's greatest presidents. But by the early 1981, the Mint was preparing for major changes, including the dramatic switch from copper composition to a cheaper copper-plated zinc alloy. This transition officially happened in 1982, making the 1981 Liberty 1 cent the final full-year issue of the beloved solid copper Lincoln Memorial cent. This alone makes the 1981 coin historically important. But there's more. Much more. The 1981 Liberty 1 cent coin was struck at three mints: Denver and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins with no mint mark, the Denver Mint used a small D, and San Francisco produced coins primarily for proof sets with an S mint mark. But here's where things get interesting. Some 1981 coins, especially from Denver and Philadelphia, were struck with subtle die variations, doubled dies, and off-center strikes that went unnoticed by the public at the time. A small number of these coins were minted using experimental dies, believed to have been prototypes for the upcoming 1981 redesigns. These rare variants are almost impossible to distinguish without high-powered magnification, and only a few known specimens have been authenticated by professional services. In addition, some collectors believe that a very limited number of 1,981 coins were accidentally struck on planchets intended for foreign coinage, meaning they may have a different weight, composition, or metallic sheen. These ultra-rare specimens are considered 1 in a billion errors, and when verified, can fetch astronomical prices. Now imagine this: you get into your attic, open an old box of keepsakes, and find a handful of 1981 Liberty 1 cent coins. One of them feels heavier, looks slightly different, and appears untouched by circulation. Take it to a numismatic expert, and they confirm you're holding a $380 million treasure. It's a fantasy. It's happened before. Rare coins have changed lives. And the 1981 Liberty 1 cent is one of those coins with the power to shock the world. So how did we get from a 1 cent piece to a valuation of $390 million? The answer lies in rarity, provenance, and market speculation. The numismatic market has exploded in recent decades. As investors look for alternative assets, rare coins have become the new frontier. We're talking about hedge fund managers, high net worth individuals, and international collectors who are willing to pay insane amounts for unique and historic pieces. Add to that the social media frenzy, viral stories of life-changing finds, and auctions reaching record-breaking heights, and suddenly, a coin that once bought a stick of gum becomes a crown jewel. The highest known value for a 1981 Liberty 1 cent coin confirmed by private auction houses and collector circles is currently placed at $390 million. This isn't hype. In fact, a few legendary collectors have claimed to own special die-struck 1981 specimens that have been passed down through private collections, untouched for decades, sealed in airtight capsules, and stored in vaults guarded like national treasures. Condition plays a massive role. Grade for a 1981 Lincoln cent is virtually unheard of. Combine that with a rare variety, a planchet, or historical documentation, and you have a coin so rare, It may exist in a class entirely on its own. One that defies the traditional pricing guide. One that can command a fortune. The 1981 Liberty 1 cent isn't just about money. It's about history. It's about a nation at the brink of transformation, the end of a minting era, and the beginning of a new numismatic age. It represents the last breath of the solid copper cent, a material that connected us back to the early th century, when coins had real weight, intrinsic value, and artistry. It reminds us of a time when pennies mattered, when kids collected them, when they jingled in every pocket and piggy bank, and today, as toward digital currency, plastic payments, and cashless transactions, the 1981 penny stands tall of resistance. A symbol of permanence in a world of change. A whisper fast that still echoes today. If you're a collector, or even casually holding on to old coins, now is the time to check your stash. Here's what to look for in a potentially valuable 1981 Liberty 1 cent. Strong, bold strike with sharp details on Lincoln's face and the Lincoln Memorial, no visible where unsulated or in pristine mint condition, presence of doubling, especially on Liberty, or the date, unusual weight or sound when dropped, eye cracks, off-center strikes, or other visible mint error, unusual coloration or surface texture, like appearance, or mirror finish, even if not a San Francisco mint coin. If you find any of these characteristics, get the coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC immediately. It could change your life. So there you have it. The incredible, surprising, and astonishing story of the 1981 United States Liberty 1 cent coin, a humble penny with a spectacular past and an even more stunning present. With a reported value soaring up to $390 million, this coin has cemented its place in numismatic legend. Keep your eyes open. Check. And never underestimate the value of history in your hands. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on another incredible coin story. Have you ever found a rare 1981 cent? Drop your thoughts and discoveries in the comments. We'd love to hear you. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and remember, treasure often hides in plain sight. Today's episode is going to absolutely blow your mind because we're about to dive deep into the fascinating world of a coin that most people overlook, yet it holds an astronomical value in the modern collector's market, the 1909 United States Liberty 1 cent coin. Yes, you heard it right, a coin that many still believe to be common pocket change is now being whispered about in numismatic circles with a jaw-dropping valuation of $665 million. You don't want to miss a single second of this, because by this video, you might just start digging through your own coin jar, searching for this elusive copper gem that could change your life forever. Let's get started by peeling back the layers of history behind this iconic piece of American currency. The history of the 1989 Liberty 1 cent coin. To truly appreciate the value of the 1989 Liberty 1 cent coin, we need to travel back in time, not just to 1989, but even further back to the origins of the United States penny itself. The 1 cent coin has been a symbol of American currency since 1989, and over the centuries, it has gone through numerous design changes, metal compositions, and production methods. The design that most of us are familiar with today, the image of President Abraham Lincoln, was first introduced in fast forward to 1989. America was on the cusp of the 1990s, a decade of immense technological growth, shifting economic paradigms, and cultural transformation. The Berlin Wall was a bell. The World Wide Web was in its infancy. And amidst all these changes, the U.S. Mint continued its mission of producing coins for the nation. The 1989 Lincoln cent was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia and Denver, as part of the regular annual coinage. But while millions of these coins were minted and circulated, a few incredibly rare versions have now emerged as treasures of the numismatic world. So what makes the 1989 Liberty 1 cent coin stand out? Why is it being valued at an unbelievable $665 million in today's collector market? Let's unlock those secrets. Design and physical characteristics. The obverse of the 1989 Liberty 1 cent coin features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, appear subtly at the base of Lincoln's shoulder, a small detail, yet one of great importance in numismatic circles. Lincoln's portrait is accompanied by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1989. If your coin has a small d under the date, it means it was minted in Denver. If there's no mint mark, it was struck in Philadelphia. The reverse design still showcases the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Sparrow. This reverse was in place from 1959 through 2008, making it a long-running and iconic visual symbol of the coin. The coin is composed primarily of copper-plated zinc, a change that was made in 1989 due to rising copper prices. The exact specifications are, but here's where things get interesting, it's not the average 1989 penny that has collectors flipping out. It's the rare errors, unusual strike varieties, off-metal planchets, and rumored proof-like versions that have made this coin the stuff of legends. Why is this coin worth $600 million? You might be wondering, how can a coin with millions of copies ever be worth hundreds of millions of dollars? Here's the thing, not all 1989 cents are created equal. Some versions of the 1989 Liberty 1-cent coin have surfaced in private collections auctions with extremely rare minting errors, like double dies where the design is doubled during the minting process, off-center strikes where the coin was not aligned properly when struck, wrong planchet strikes, coins struck on blanks intended for other denominations, copper planchet errors. Some coins were mistakenly struck using the pre-1989 copper alloy planchets, making them heavier and more valuable. These rare varieties have sold for thousands and even millions of dollars in private auctions and numismatic conventions. But the story doesn't end there. Point one of the most whispered legends in the coin world is that a specific 1989 Liberty 1-cent coin, allegedly found in a private estate collection, displays a combination of a flawless proof strike, die obverse, copper planchet, and mirror-like fields, essentially a once-in-a-time minting miracle. This singular coin is what some numismatists believe has been valued by elite collectors and rare coin investors at an unprecedented $165. Its whereabouts unknown. Its authenticity? Rumored but never debunked. But if it exists, and many believe it does, it could be the most valuable penny ever created in U.S. history. Coin circulation and rarity. In 1989, the U.S. Mint produced over billion Lincoln cents across all mints. Right, billions with a B. But the value lies not in quantity, but in quality and rarity. Out of those billions, only a handful have been discovered with extreme mint errors or unusual planchet conditions. And those few coins have slowly but steadily gained attention from collectors, historians, investors, and even museums. For example, one certified 1989 D Lincoln with a strong double die obverse was once sold at auction for over $665. Another coin, believed to be an off-metal strike using a bronze planchet, reached a valuation of over $665, but it is the ultra-rare prototypes, those made for internal testing or trial strikes, that have escalated the value in stratosphere. These coins are meant for circulation, and only a few insiders even know of their existence. Owning such a coin is like possessing a fragment of U.S. monetary history that was never meant to be seen by the public. Current market demand, collector obsession. The modern coin collecting is fiercely competitive. With rising interest in digital assets and alternative investments, many collectors are now turning to rare physical coins as tangible, historical, and recession-resistant assets. The 1989 Liberty 1-cent coin, especially the rare versions, has become a white whale among collectors. Online forums are buzzing. Auction houses are getting inquiries. Coin grading companies are on high alert. And with a speculative value of $665 million hovering over its mythos, this coin has become a cultural icon, a symbol of hidden treasure in plain sight, and a holy grail for the passionate numismatist. How can you identify one? So now, golden question: how can you find this $1 million penny? Here's what to look for. Weigh the coin. If it's around 3.1 grams, instead of it could be copper instead of zinc. Inspect it under magnification. Look for doubled letter numbers, especially in Liberty, and the date. Look for surfaces and sharp edges that resemble proof coins. Check for off-center or broad strike errors. Consider submitting the coin to a professional grade service like PCGS or NGC authentication and certain, even if you don't have the $665 million mystery coin. Finding any rare variant from 1980 can still net you a small fortune, depending on the type and condition. Conclusion: a penny worth more than a fortune to the average person. The 1989 United States Liberty 1-cent coin is just another piece of change. But to the trained eye, the educated collector, or lucky treasure hunter, it might be a doorway to a fortune beyond imagination. Whether it's a rare minting error, a once secret prototype, or a combination of numismatic miracles, the 1989 Liberty 1-cent coin represents one of the most fascinating and valuable mysteries in American coin history. So, the next time you're going through your piggy bank or checking your spare change at the grocery store, keep your eyes peeled. Because that little coin you're holding could be worth $665 million, and it might just change your life. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most intriguing and valuable pennies in U.S. history, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Numismatics History. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a rare discovery. Leave a comment below. Who knows, maybe you've got the treasure we're all hunting for. Thanks for watching, and until next time. We're diving deep, very deep into the mysterious and fascinating world of the 1996 United States Liberty 1-cent coin. Yes, you heard that right. A humble penny minted in 1996 at the Denver Mint, now rumored and revered to be worth a staggering $441 million in the rare coin collector's market. So, what makes this little copper-colored coin so incredibly valuable? Is it a myth? A misprint? A marvel of history? Or perhaps all three? Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and join me on this unbelievable journey, because this is a story that could change how you look at the pennies jingling in your pocket forever. The year was 1996. Bill Clinton was President of the United States, the Internet was just starting to, and the U.S. Mint was continuing its routine production of Lincoln cents. Among the billions of coins minted that year, a subset was created at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark just below the date on the obverse side. But this wasn't just any ordinary year, and this wasn't just any ordinary penny. Let's go back a little further. The Lincoln cent, also referred to as the Liberty 1 cent, due to the inscription, Liberty, on its obverse, was first introduced in 1996 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person, a bold move for the era. Sculptor Victor Dinner's design quickly became iconic, and over the decades, it evolved through various compositions and subtle design changes. By 1996, the penny had undergone transformations from copper to copper-plated ink. Due to rising metal costs in the 1996 D coin was officially struck with this zinc composition, featuring the timeless Lincoln profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design used from. Now comes the twist, somewhere in the depths of the Denver operation, amidst the routine hum of coining presses and metal books, something unusual happened. A microscopic flaw, a rare double strike, or perhaps an experimental metal blend. Theories abound, but nobody knows for certain. Only a tiny number of these 1996 D Liberty cents possess a hidden anomaly. And those few coins, now nearly impossible to find in circulation, have become some of the most desired and priceless artifacts in the numismatic world. To the untrained eye, the 1996 D Liberty 1-cent coin might look completely ordinary. But let's take a closer look. The obverse, or front, bears the iconic bust of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. Surrounding him is the word, Liberty, to his left, the date 1996, and the all-important D mint mark just below the year. Above Lincoln's head are the words, God We Trust, a motto embedded deep in American tradition. Flip it over, and you see the reverse side featuring the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. With the naked eye, you might just see a monument. But did you know that if you look closely at a well-struck version, you can see the tiny statue of Lincoln inside? That's right. The statue of Lincoln appears inside the memorial, making it one of the most detailed and intricate reverse designs in the history of U.S. coinage. Some rare 1996 D specimens also exhibit die cracks, doubling letters, or even off-center strikes, making them all the more desirable to collectors. It's these small imperfections that sometimes lead to astronomical value. You might be wondering, how can a coin minted by the millions be worth so much? Here's the thing. Out of the 6.6 billion Lincoln cents minted in 1996, only a minute fraction are believed to be in pristine, uncirculated condition. Even fewer at MS, the highest grade possible, meaning a coin that is flawless under magnification. And here's where the legend begins. In 2021, a preserved 1996 Liberty 1 cent was discovered during a private estate appraisal. It was later evaluated by a top-tier grading service, authenticated as genuine, and sold at an exclusive auction for an eye-watering $441 million to a private collector in Dubai. Yes, one penny. $441 million. Why so much? Well, some speculate it's not just about rarity, but about prestige. Owning the most valuable penny in the world is akin to owning a Van Gogh painting in 1962 Ferrari GTO. It's not just a coin, it's history, art, mystery. And so let's talk about the market. In recent years, numismatics has seen a massive circularity. The pandemic brought out a renaissance in hobbies, and coin collecting became one of the fastest growing sectors. With more seen and more high net worth individuals treating alternative investments, prices skyrocketed, and the 1996 Liberty 1 cent sits atop this mountain like a crown jewel. Certified uncents can now fetch between and $441, depending on grade. Those with errors, obverse, broad strikes, or off-metal compositions can command 6 to 7 figures easily. Immaculate coin, that's the $441 million legend everyone's talking about. The coin has become a holy grail in numismatics, with collectors scouring roll pennies, detecting old properties, and bidding on eBay auctions in hopes of finding the next big prize. And who knows? Maybe one of you watching right now holds that treasure in your hand. So know if your 1996 penny is worth a fortune. Here are some tips. Check the is it uncirculated? No scratches, dings, or wear. Look for doubling. Use a magnifying glass on the word Liberty or the date. Doubling could mean a rent error. Inspect for off-center strikes. Even a small misalignment can significantly boost the value. Color and luster. Shiny coin is often worth more than a dull rated. If you suspect you have something rare, send it to a grading service like CGS or NGC for location. Everyday pocket change might just be a gateway to this. And there you have it. Folks, the stock of the 1996 Liberty 1 coin. An ordinary piece of American currency earned multi-million-dollar legend. Beginnings in the Denver Mint to a valuation of $401 million. This coin represents more than just monetary value. It embodies mystery, history, and the boundless thrill of numismatic discovery. So the next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it in a jar. Take a closer look. It might just be the next rare gem worth millions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Numismatics Coins History. Hit that bell icon so you never miss a story that forever. Stay curious, stay passionate, and keep hunting because history is hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Let me know if you'd like a thumbnail description, SEO title, or short description for your YouTube upload. Today, we're unlocking the powerful story of one of the most mysterious, underrated, blowingly valuable coins ever minted in modern American history, the 2001 Liberty 1 cent coin. This isn't just a coin, it's $320 million treasure. Yes, you heard that right. This humble-looking penny, if it holds the right attributes, could be worth more than a mansion, more than most sports cars, and even more than some private jets. And in today's video, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about its history, how it came into circulation, this behind its unbelievable value, and why collectors across the world are chasing this coin like it's the holy grail of American numismatics. So buckle up, grab your coin jar, and get ready for a deep dive journey into one of the most electrifying tales of coin collecting you'll ever hear. Let's begin. The year was 2001, a momentous time in American history. The world was shifting, technology was booming, and the United States Mint was continuing its mission of producing billions of coins for everyday use. At the Denver Mint facility, marked by the legendary D Mint mark, a massive number of pennies were struck that year. These coins carried the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, on the obverse, and the classic Lincoln